Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chem 170 with your host, me, Dr. White. Hi, everybody. Glad you could make it. All right, couple of things. Let me tell you a little about me. First of all, I'm an organic chemist. I got my PhD from Michigan State, got my undergraduate degree from Illinois Institute of Technology, and for many decades, I worked in the chemical industry as a research and development manager, where I had other PhD chemists reporting to me. And part of my job, hold on, let me get this off my screen. I just did. Part of my job when I worked in the chemical industry was as a problem solver. I go to our company plants, I go to our customers to help solve problems. It's quite exciting. Unfortunately, around uh, 2001, I was thinking how to say it best, the research chemical industry or chemical jobs for research in the Chicagoland area were just about gone. And so since then, I've been a consultant to the chemical industry, and I've also taught at ECC. And in 2007, I also started teaching at Elgin at College of DuPage. So that's a little about my background, but something important I should tell you, I have a hearing problem. If we were face to face, you'd see I'd have my hearing aids in, but I don't. Why? Because right above here, I have two big amplified speakers that amplify whatever you say. So I don't need my hearing aids now. However, sometimes I still have trouble understanding something a student will say. So that's my problem, not yours. So if I ask you to repeat something, if you ask a question once or twice, we're either meeting live on Zoom, whenever, please be patient. Now, probably the most important thing I will teach you tonight is the following. In my class, in my world, there's no such thing as a dumb question. I'll say it again. In my class, in my world, there's no such thing as a dumb question. I didn't learn that lesson until I think it was my second or third year in grad school at Michigan State. We had a postdoctoral fellow working for us, and we were in a group meeting where I was presenting my research, and his name is Dr. Palavin. I haven't seen him in decades. Yes, I am that old. But anyways, and I was doing my research talking about it, and one key reaction, and Dr. Palavin asked me, what's the mechanism? We don't do mechanisms in 170, but at my level, you do. How do things go step by step? And that's something we teach all organic chem majors learn by the time they get their bachelor's degree, this one reaction called the Michael reaction, you know the mechanism. So I explained it on the board. And afterward, I went up to him and said, Larry, weren't you embarrassed asking that question? Because we teach that to undergrads. He said, why should I be embarrassed? I didn't know it. I asked the question. Now I know it. And years later, I came up with the thing, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Remember, if you have a question about anything concerning 170, Chem 170, organic chemistry, ask. There's no such thing as a dumb question in my class. All right, let's talk about some important things you should know. And that's not what I want. Let's go here. This is the college computer system. There's another acronym I can't think of right now that's called Desire to Learn, and we call it D2L. And if you log into D2L for Chem 170, this is what you see. And you'll see announcements, which I also send out as emails. Let me say something before I forget. please check your emails on a daily basis, or at least once every other day. For the online class, I send out emails and reminders to help you. Now, if you notice over here, I have my office hours, and they'll be on Zoom. It would be Monday and Wednesday, like tonight, Wednesday night, from 7 to 8 p.m. And here's the login. It's also in my syllabus, the information how to get there. Here's my email address. And I'm going to try, I haven't done it in the past, but I'll try using the calendar to help you out, like for tests and things like that. Now, if we look at the top, you'll see it says content, discussion, assignment. I don't give any quizzes, grades, class list. I don't know if you have all this, but I do. Well, let's go to content. And if you look over here on this way on my screen, you'll see overview, bookmarks, course schedule, which I don't use. And the first thing you'll see is the syllabus. If you click on that, you'll see this right here. Now, what I've done for any file I post on here, I post it as both a MS Word document and a PDF file. So if you don't have MS Word, or if you happen to be sitting somewhere and you pick up your cell phone, you can log in and see the document, because I also have the PDF one. And here we have the syllabus, and I'm going to go over that in a little while. Now, I also have a link, even though I have it on the first page, to how to join my office hours. And then I have here lectures. And for each lecture that I give on the video, I have as a Word document and a PDF, the slides you'll see in those videos, so you can download it. Now, I've had students when we're face-to-face, and I have the same thing face-to-face. You'll find out if you were to take me face-to-face or talk to one of my former students, what I do in this class in the videos is identical to what I do face-to-face. The only difference is you can't ask questions live, but you can always email me, or if you can't make it to, hold on, let's stop in something important. If you can't make it to my office hours, and some people might be working, email me, and if I'm available and you're available, I'll set up a private Zoom meeting. That's the nice thing about having Zoom now, and I'll help you out. Because I'll tell you something, a couple of important private things about me personally. I'm a very selfish person in certain ways. And the one way I'm very, very selfish is I like to have things happen around me that make me happy. Yep, I'm selfish that way. And one of the things that makes me very happy, can you see my heart's feeling much better now, is when students get a good grade in my class. I really should say earn a good grade. And I will do anything I can to help you work for get the highest grade you're willing to work for. I'll help you in any way to help you work to get the highest grade you're willing to work for, because that makes me happy. I get no joy of seeing a student getting a D or an F or even a C in my class. It doesn't make me happy at all. All right, so you can download these. Like I was saying, I have had in the past, students will print them out and then they'll take notes on them for themselves. I'll talk about the videos a little later. All right. Now, one bad thing about D2L, there are a lot of bad things. We scroll all the way to the bottom. Can you see where it says load more? Everybody know how to do the thumbs up emoji? And give me a thumbs up if you can see load more. Thank you, everybody. All right. This is, notice here's chapter 11 and 13, amines, amides, and heterocyclic compounds. If I click on that, you see the rest of the stuff. That's, students don't always remember that, and that's why I'm telling you this. I'll remind you. Now, if you notice, I also have some nice things here. A review for each of the tests. And I'll talk more about test reviews and stuff like that when I go through the syllabus. But this is all available for you in the lecture section. Now, here I have a link to my YouTube channel. Did you know I'm a YouTube star? I am, not really. And if we go there, I have a couple semesters of Chem 170. Now, for this class, and I'll go through a list of what I have, I picked one semester instead of the spring, the summer one, which is 7 or 8 weeks. I have a full semester. Now let's go to one of these. Let's go to beginning. Right here, I'll click on this. Let me stop it. Now, if you notice right here, I have the title name right here, 2022-06-06. That's year, month, and day. Next, I have what week it is. It's week 1. And then if you see under here, it has Chem 170 Zoom meeting by me, Dr. White, the date, and see where it says more. If you click on that, that's what's in that video, which is essentially what I'm going to do today, introduction, how to do well, how to memorize. Then the rest of that, I'll let you learn on yourself. And this would be the same if we were face-to-face right now. And having us say today would be like maybe a 2.5-hour lecture. Chem 170 evolved when I inherited it in 2007. It had a Monday lecture from 1 to 2:50 or so, no, 3:50, and then a lecture and a lab on Wednesday from 1 to 3:50. So I follow that somewhat on here the way I have it, but because it's a YouTube, you can stop and come back to it later on. But the key thing I wanted to show you is when you click on that more, this will be a description. Let's go back and do another one. Let's go to the second one, which is on the 7th, the next day. And you'll see, click on more. And here's where I talk about different things and then do the melting point lab. So that's the important thing about my YouTube channel I wanted you to know. Now here I have the video schedule, which I'll talk about when we go through the syllabus. Next, the way the school asked me to set up, I have learning modules which show you what you should be doing for each area. And this is also in the videos, I go through it, but here's objectives, here's outcomes, here's your learning resource, and presentations, what you should be doing, and when you should complete it. And that will help you, but it's also in my syllabus a better way, but these are available for all the modules for Chem 170. Now, one of the most important things I've done in this class is practice problems. And if you click on practice problems, you'll see the alkanes practice problem. And I have it both as a Word document and as a PDF file. And if we click on the PDF file, you'll see I have problems for you to work on. How many carbons are in the longest chain? Now, you don't know how to do that yet because you haven't started this class. Now, can you keep a secret? Shh. After test 1, you'll know why I call them practice problems. Remember, shh, this is a secret. After test 1, you'll know why I call them practice problems. and test 2, 3, 4 in the final. That's one of the reasons my students do well in my class, because I provide practice. I'll talk about that too, how to do good in Chem 170. Now, good news, I also provide the answers, but I would highly recommend do the problems and look at the answers. Don't just say, oh, that's the problem, and go and look at the answers, because that won't help you learn this. Now, one of the important things you will need to do for this class is upload labs reports and your tests as a PDF file. Now, I have instructions how to do that. If you don't have a scanner, if you look up here, I have a printer scanner right in front, behind that picture from my favorite movie, Forbidden Planet. But anyways, it explains how to do that. Now, if you don't have a printer for the labs and the tests, you can hand write out on a sheet of paper, do it clearly so I can read it. You don't want me guessing what is that, because I can guess wrong what an answer is. And when you write on the test too, you print it out, write clearly. You can just write down the in the lab things questions you have to answer. You don't have to rewrite the questions, and I'll remind you this later on. Same thing for the test. You don't have a printer or access to a printer, or you could print out my test and then write on the test and then scan it and upload it. You can just write down, say, question 1, your answer. You don't have to rewrite the questions. Now, if you don't have a scanner, a great app is called Cam Scammer, and I have a file there. Students have been using it for years. Now, listen carefully. Do not spend money on getting all the bells and whistles. Use the free version. It's free and it works. That's all you need. Again, use the free version. Don't spend extra money for bells and whistles in that app you don't need. Thank you, Dr. White, for saving me money. You're welcome. All right, one other thing I have put in here is if you notice, there's a little generation gap between me and you, like most of the students, I would say. And my real claim to fame is not that I'm a PhD organic chemist and I have 10 US patents that have all been commercialized. It's when I was a senior year in high school, I saw Jimi Hendrix play live. And if you don't know who Jimi Hendrix is, boy, you're missing out on the best music. I also saw Jefferson Airplane with Gracie Slick, the Moody Blues, Iron Butterfly, and I go on, but the Jimi Hendrix. And here, for those of you who this will help you out, I have both as a PDF and a Word document, my favorite songs. For those who don't know, Iron Butterfly and In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, I saw them play that live. That's a 15-minute song. Jefferson Airplane, I've seen them play that. Jimi Hendrix. And Moody Blues, I saw 3 or 4 times, and I better get off this. The first record my parents bought for me was by Nervous Norvus, Ape Call, and the other side was Wild Dogs of Kentucky. And you can find that on YouTube. You'll get a great laugh. Anyways, I thought I'd include that and also have favorite movies and books. All right. Anyways, that's D2L. It's always available as long as you have internet access to download things. And don't forget about the load more button. All right, what I like to do now is go through some of the syllabus. I'm not going to go through the whole syllabus. I'll let you read that on your own. Also part of this, a good part of it, all faculty members at ECC have to include stuff. So it's quite long, 19 pages. All right, first of all, I'm still Dr. White, and I have a phone number, which is really a voicemail box. And I can't remember the last time I checked that. I want to say somewhere around 2011, maybe. I don't remember the password, but here's my email address. And it's kwhite@elgin.edu. Sometimes when you get emails that I send from D2L, it has a slightly different email address. This is the one you should use. Now, as I showed you, here's the start date and end date. You can find my videos here. Here's again the link to my office hours. Again, if you can't make it, contact me if you need help. We'll find a way, I'll find a way to help you. Email or office hours or private Zoom meeting. Like I said, the best way to reach me is email. Religiously, I check my email twice a day, and that's Saturday and Sunday minimum. Now, I start my day real early and end it late. So when I say twice a day, sometimes I'll check at 5:36 a.m. and then later in the afternoon or early evening or late evening. But I generally, unless something happens, like I win the lotto, don't hold your breath on that. But anyways, I always try to check it twice a day, and I will respond to you within 24 hours or less. Now we're required to put the active course file. I'm going to skip it. You can skip it. Same thing with description, all that. Now, you're responsible for any of the video information in my videos. Watch the videos. This is the same if you were face-to-face at a classroom at ECC. I've been teaching Chem 170. I'm the only one who's been teaching it at ECC since 2007. So I've been doing it enough years. I'm pretty consistent. Look at a couple of semesters. I even use the same bad jokes all the time. But anyways, to succeed in this class, you have to watch, well, you don't have to if you don't want a good grade, but I'm assuming you all do, watch the videos. They're available on YouTube. All right, here's the thing about academic integrity and don't cheat. Behavior, I'll let you read it on your own. This is more when we were face-to-face. Stuff about the rave alerts were required. Class preparation. All right, this is very important. Since I've been at ECC 2001, I have always supported any student who has special needs. If you have a special need, I'll work with the Learning Center to help you get that special need. Contact me in private if you need some special whatever. I've done this face-to-face. I've had a number of special needs students, and they've all done well in my class. These resources I'll let you read on your own. We're required all faculty to put that in there. All right, now, I don't know about you, but when I was a student, one of the important things when I was taking a class like an undergrad, how do I get a good grade in this class? See, I was a student a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Well, a long time ago. But anyways, we're going to have 4 one-hour tests. And I'll show you in a little while. From the assignment area Blackboard, you will download a password protected PDF file, excuse me, the day of the test. Hold on, water break. And all the tests are on Thursday. And at 8 a.m. or maybe even earlier, I'll mail out the password so you can open up that file and print it out or if you don't have a printer, write the answers to take the test. Now, since some of you are working, like maybe a lot of you, what I do is you have until, usually it's 4 p.m. the next day, to take the test and upload it to the assignment area of D2L. So that gives you plenty of time to take the test. By the way, Dr. White is very clever. I put things in my test to know if students have cheated, and unfortunately they were. So please don't cheat. Or I will do what's in my syllabus. Contact the dean, get her involved. Please don't. But what I will do is, since mostly if we are face-to-face, the way I write a test is you have 50 minutes and most students are done if you studied and practice due to practice problems, they're done in about 35, 40 minutes. I don't write tests that the smartest person in the class, which was usually me, was the only one who could finish it. That's not fair. And that's not right. And I don't do that. By the way, I should mention this. I teach by my golden rule of teaching. I don't do to my students what I didn't like done to me when I was a student. Again, I teach by my golden rule of teaching. I don't do to my students what I didn't like done to me when I was a student. Yes, I can still remember that. All right. Now, there will be a 2-hour comprehensive exam. Relax, take a deep breath. Students do real good on my final, and you'll find out a little while or throughout the semester. That will be on Monday, the first day of the last week of class. Unlike other schools, ECC doesn't have an official finals week. So I'll have it on Monday. You'll have until Tuesday to finish it. And the one nice thing, keep a secret. If you need 2 or 3 hours to finish my test, take it. As long as you don't cheat, and I'll know if you're cheating. And that takes some of the stress off you. I'll have an extra credit project later in the semester near the end. And except for extreme emergencies, and that happens in life, you'll get 0 points if you don't take a test or if you don't take the final, and if you don't have some sort of documentation why there was an emergency. But life happens, especially since COVID-19. All right, let's talk about how do you get a good grade in this class. You're going to have 4 exams, tests, each one 100 points. I will take the top 3 scores, and that's add them together, max 300 points. The final exam, relax, is worth 200 points. I'll talk about labs in a while, but each lab is 11 points, and I think we have 13 of them. I dropped the lowest one, so it's 132. And this should be, oops, I made a mistake here. This should be 632, not 630, but I got it right here. Now, what I do at the end of the semester is I take the sum of your 3 highest test points, your final exam points, your lab points, and if you do the extra credit, multiply it by 100 and divide by 632. If your percentage is 90 and above, you get an A. If it's 80 to 89, B, 70, 79, C, 60, 69, D, 59 or less, F. Now, historically, my classes, and this is both face-to-face and online, and last summer and this last fall, I went totally video like I'm doing this semester, and the same thing happened as I do when I'm face-to-face. Students who do the practice problems and put into work and follow my advice get A's. And generally in my class, I see about 65, 70% of the class, listen carefully, earn A's. And usually the rest get B's, and there may be a C or 2 in there. But the majority of my class, if you do what I recommend, and this is both face-to-face and online, get A's or B's, mostly A's. That's because I think I know what I'm doing, and hopefully you follow my advice so you get a good grade. By the way, that makes me happy. See students get a good grade. Remember, I'm selfish about that. And I also get something I want. If you get an A in my class or B, you've learned organic chemistry. How many of you, give me a thumbs up, have heard organic chemistry is really hard and bad and scary? Anyone? I see a number. That's not true. But remember, I'm biased. I'm an organic chemist. But go look at some of the ratemyprofessor.com reviews. I've had a number of students who flunked at other schools come and take it with me and get an A or a B. It's not that scary. All right, here's my withdrawal or the withdrawal school withdrawal policy. A couple times over the years, I've had students just stop showing up. That's not dropping a class. You have to do it officially. Midterm is 3/5/15/24. Last day to drop is 4/28/24. Now, I will tell you this, I rarely have students drop. The only time I've had students drop is a couple times when they've had medical emergencies, unfortunately, that affect their ability to take my class, or if they got a job transfer, moved out of the area. And a couple of cases where they were pregnant and gave birth, not somewhat middle or near the end of the semester, they have to drop it. Rarely do I have students drop it because they're not able to do it in the class. That's rare, like almost zero. Incompletes, if you have a problem, I give incompletes. All right, here's the tentative schedule. This is week 1. You should be doing chapter 1 and 2. That's also here to learning modules, and so on through the semester. And I keep pretty much to the semester. And here I have a test. Now, one thing I didn't change here, I'm going to change this semester. Instead of being on Monday, that's going to be on Tuesdays. I'll have and let me know if you can, if you a better time than 7 for a review. I will videotape it or tape it like I'm doing now, and I'll post these reviews in my YouTube channel. And here are the various things you should do. And this has been a schedule that students follow, and it's at a pace that helps you succeed. Just remember, I'm selfish and I want you to do good. Now, one of the things I've done is my videos on YouTube. And these are the videos you should watch each week. Don't try and binge watch a day or two before a test. You're not going to learn organic chemistry by learning it or trying to learn it a day or two before the test. Keep up. It's available 24/7. Since it's on YouTube, if you're at work and you have some time, you can pick up your cell phone and see me on YouTube. So it's available. And notice I have what modules it's for. What you can just go like this, copy this right into your browser and go right to that. I also have the titles, and I have this for the whole semester. And like I said, the learning modules I showed you, you can find on D2L. So that's important thing you should be doing. It's the same as if I were face-to-face, you should be coming to class, the lecture. Otherwise, you're not going to do good. By the way, when I teach face-to-face, I take attendance. I have, if you miss so many classes, I give you an F to help students come to class. But now you're on your own. Last semester, students did well. Summer students did well. Actually, before that, when we switched over to Zoom, over COVID when it was really bad. I had a number of my students who worked either in hospitals, nursing homes, or at pharmacies. And if one of their colleagues got sick with COVID, they had to put in extra shifts and they couldn't see me. And that's when I was doing live lectures. So I taped them. And since I'm a power user on a computer, I got my first PC at a company I worked for in, I think it was 1983. Oh, ouch, I should have said that. Anyways, I know computers, so I was able to set this up. And I realized students watching my videos were doing just as good as they showed up live. All right, let's talk about the labs. Because we're totally online, you're not going to mix organic chemicals at home. That's dangerous. What I have done is, and when we're face to face, when I inherited Chem 170, the labs were, how should I put this politely, awful. They stunk. They were, eh. And I challenged myself. One of the problems when we're doing face-to-face Chem 170 and other chemistry at ECC is the same way. The labs are an hour and 50 minutes. At other schools, and I have taught the equivalent at COD, the labs are 2 hours and 50 minutes. Most commercial lab books are designed for at least a 2.5-hour lab, which I couldn't do. So I wrote all my own labs for Chem 170, which we had been doing for many years. Students liked them. What I've done here is you will get the same intellectual experience in the lab. You just won't be pouring the chemicals together. Unfortunate, but true, but this allows you to do the lab at home. All right, there are going to be 13 labs. Each lab is 11 points. I will take the top 12 out of 13 labs to calculate your lab total. As I had earlier, I showed you in that formula. Please hand in the lab the next week. Now, I've been since COVID a little loose on this. If something happens, if you're a little late, I'm not going to give you 0 points like I have in my syllabus, but you got to hand in lab reports to get a score. Otherwise, you get a 0. Now, here's the lab reports schedule or lab schedule. And generally, when we teach face-to-face, first week, we're just getting in. Second week, we check in to the lab. And then the third week, we start doing the labs. And what I'll do is week 3, I will have in the assignment area, and I'll show you this, the melting points lab, which you download a Word or PDF file. You'll read it. You'll watch a video, which I explain what's going on. And then there's some questions you have to answer in the lab report. I'm not one of those who wants a 20-page lab report. What a waste of time. I had a teacher in undergrad who wanted that, 2-page purpose, and I'll give me a break. So I don't, like I said, I teach by my golden rule. I don't do to my students what I didn't like done to me. And here are the labs. You'll find them interesting and educational. Now, right here on the last page, and this is not the copy you use, we have what I call the student agreement. And this is where you sign. And let me pull up a real one. And I can show you now the assignment area, because this is under the assignment area. If you click on assignments, you'll see the first one. The other stuff here you don't see because this is my interface. Hold on. Let me go to student view. All right. I go to assignments. This is what you see. And this is the signature sheet. And notice I have in here instructions for taking submitting labs in this too, both as a PDF file and a Word document. And I also have information about Cam Scammer, which this works, and I didn't explain it. First of all, let me open this one up. And you need to fill this out. This is the only thing I ask you to print. And you should be able to go to ECC, find printers in the library and other places, the labs, computer labs. Also, I know my local library, I live in Schaumburg. I think a lot of the other libraries, local libraries, public libraries, you can go in and print stuff. How much it costs, I don't know. But you need to print your name, you read the syllabus, and you understand you should abide by the syllabus. And if you don't, I'll do what's in the syllabus. And you need to sign it, date it, and then upload it. Now, here's where you can use Cam Scammer. Cam Scammer uses a cell phone. It's an app for a cell phone. And I've never used it, but students say it's like taking pictures. And then it converts into a PDF file that you can upload. And I've had students use it, and nobody's ever had, well, I take it back, one person had problems with that, had problems with D2L too, but we found a way to help that person out. So that's an important thing, and that's the syllabus. All right, let's talk about how do you do well in Chem 170? Because a lot of you have heard organic chemistry is ooh, bad. It's not, but if it's taught wrong, it can be ooh, bad. And that is one, watch the videos and watch them each week. I have in the list in my syllabus. If you have any questions, always ask me, either by email, office hours, on Monday and Wednesday on Zoom, or contact me and I'll see if I can set up an office, a Zoom meeting, and both of us are available. All right, next, do the practice problems. They're called practice problems for a reason. After test number one, you'll know why. And do them. That's how my students do that. Now, why am I telling you how to do the practice problems? How do you do well in organic chemistry in Chem 170? Let's talk about bicycles. Bicycles? Yep, let's talk about bicycles. Let's assume I'm a really nice person, and I am, and you want to learn how to ride a bicycle, and you've never been on a bicycle in your life, you don't know how to ride a bicycle. And I give you the best Blu-ray ever created on how to ride a bicycle. And you have a big screen TV, Blu-ray player, like in my family room last November, I got a really nice Sony 75-inch. Ooh, it's nice. And for the next month, you watch that Blu-ray, how to ride a bicycle, over and over again. You go slow motion, back it up, frame by frame, watch it over and over. So you know that video Blu-ray by heart. What's going to happen the first time you get on a bicycle on your own? You're going to fall off. Then you practice. And with practice, you get better and you don't fall off. And the same thing is true for this class. Where do you want to? You can watch me on the videos, and I go through practice problems in my videos, give you time to try them a little. But it's no different than the Blu-ray how to ride a bicycle. You can watch my videos over and over again. But if you don't practice and you take the test, what's going to happen? You're going to fall off on the test. And that won't be a good feeling, I assume, for you if you fall off and don't do good. So do the practice problems, watch the videos, and also keep up and do the labs and do the lab reports. And like I said, students who follow what I have just said do very well in my class. I'm willing to help you get the grade you're willing to work for. Any way I can help, I will. Now, back to the bicycle thing. One other thing, and now I'm going to do by now a generation gap. How many of you remember Michael Jordan? How many of you saw him even on TV play when he was in his prime? Maybe not a lot of you. For those who don't know, back in the 1990s, middle 1995, 96, Michael Jordan was the best of the best of the best, the very best player in the NBA, National Basketball Association. And back then, every once in a while, you'd see on either a sports report, local TV, or in the newspaper, a report about Michael Jordan, the best player. He's always the first one on the practice court and the last one off the practice court. Why would the best player have to practice all that well? Because that's how he stayed the best, through practice. And Chem 170 is no different. That's why I created the practice problems that'll help you. Now, one of the things you'll hear me do is talk about how many bonds to carbon. And the first couple of videos, you'll see me brainwashing you. There's four bonds to carbon always. That's going to be your friend. By the way, I'm ambidextrous. See, four. I can do it either hand. I can do it backwards. Four bonds to carbon. Remember that. I think I'm just about done. Have I forgotten anything? If not, I'll put out another video, but I think I've covered just about everything. I said I'd take about an hour. We've been here about 50 minutes. Normally when I lectured live or on video, you'll see after 50 minutes, I'll take a 5-minute break. This is when I was lecturing live on Zoom. Now, let me recap. 1, in my class, there's no such thing as a dumb question. In my world, there's no such thing as a dumb question. If you have a question, ask me. Never feel afraid to do that. I will never, ever say, oh, is that a dumb question? When I hear faculty members say that to students or berate them, I don't think highly of those faculty members, because I'm here to help you learn organic chemistry. Now, one of the things you'll find out is my world of organic chemistry is your world of organic chemistry. You just don't know about it. Now, some areas I've worked in that I'll talk about during the semester, I have worked in the molecules. I designed a couple that are fabric softeners. I've worked in areas such as making the chemicals that are used to make certain other chemicals that you use in your daily life that allow you to buy mayonnaise jars that are plastic, not glass anymore. But, I forgot something. Almost forgot. One question I would have if I were in your shoes is, why am I learning organic chemistry? Good question. Let's think about that. Well, you'll find out during the semester. My clothes, that's organic chemistry. My hair, what's left of it, my beard, that's organic chemistry. My skin, my muscles, I work out with weights, so I have some still at my age. I pump iron religiously during the week and weekend, work out. That's organic chemistry. Oh, look, the plastic in my bottle is organic chemistry. The plastic in my printer, my external hard drive. Oh, by the way, I'm a flashaholic. I have a lot of flashlights. Go to our flashlight in Reddit. It's a dangerous place to go. It's a dangerous hobby. But anyways, dangerous because you keep on buying flashlights. But anyways, so our food is organic chemistry. When you hear about organic food, I always laugh because all food is organic. Marketing people have hijacked the word organic to mean pure, but carbohydrates, those are organic molecules you'll learn about this semester. fats and oils. I've worked in that industry. That's organic chemistry. And proteins, those are amino acids. That's all organic chemistry. So let's see. Why is it important you should learn organic chemistry? Your body is organic chemistry, your food is, your clothes is, the soap you use and how it cleans your hands is organic chemistry. Isn't it obvious why you should learn organic chemistry? Because you want to get a good grade because somebody told you you have to take this class. I know that. Now you know I know that. And I'm not going to try and make you into an organic chemist, but I will teach you about my world of organic chemistry is your world of organic chemistry. So watch the videos, do the practice problems, keep up, don't fall behind. You're not going to learn organic chemistry a couple days before the test. You won't. I've seen students try and whoop, they fall off badly. Now, one thing I've seen over the years is called test anxiety. And I've had students who had it really bad. They'll come in and they ask me questions. I say, wow, this student's been really doing all the practice problems. That's going to be an A student. In the first test, they barely pass. I find out they have test anxiety. When they sit down and take a test, their brain goes, I'm an organic chemist, not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but it stops working properly. Good news, I'm very creative. Years ago, when I had a bad case, something I learned, I modified, and I taught a student how to eliminate test anxiety. And over the years, it's worked really well for my students. They've gone from getting D's and F's in my class to A's and B's. You still have to study and do the practice problems, but this eliminates that. I have created a video, private video. It's not public on my YouTube channel. And sometime next week, probably, I'll send out a link so you can watch it. And if you have any questions, get back to me and I'll help you if you need it. I've even had at my doctor's office, one of the nurses learned about I teach at 2 colleges a couple of years ago, and her 9 or 10-year-old son was having that kind of problem. She couldn't bring him into the office, so I taught her the method. She turned around and taught her son the method, and he went on to getting A's from failing things because he eliminated his test anxiety. So that's something I will provide to you. So with that, I'm done. Anybody have any questions? Going once? Going twice? All right, one last thing. You'll find out in the video, and I'll tell you now, I'm Jewish. And one of the greatest persons I've ever known in my life was my grandmother Greenman, my mother's mother. Probably one of the finest people I've ever met. Great, powerful woman. Very wonderful, sweet woman. And in the Jewish religion, or not really religion, culture, there's a language called Yiddish. Yiddish is a mixture of German and Hebrew, which my grandparents spoke. My parents spoke somewhat. I know it, I'm rusty because I'm not really around any really Yiddish speaking people anymore. But every time I would leave, when we go over and see my grandmother, she'd say to my sisters and me and my parents, "Gein gesund." Gein gesund is Yiddish for go in health. And once I started doing Zoom after COVID struck, it dawned on me I should do this. And always, you'll see in the videos, and I'll do now, when I end, I say "Gein gesund," because right now it's still out there. The flu, COVID, what's the other one, RSV or something like that, respiratory. I've gotten all my recent shots for that. I've had my 4th, I think, COVID booster. I've gotten my flu shot a while ago. And I also got the RSV a while ago. I'm in that high risk group age-wise and other things, so I'm safe. I even still wear a mask when I go to the supermarket in public places. My cardiologist does too. And it's still rough out there, so be careful. So with that, there are no further questions. I'll remind you, watch the videos, do the practice problems, keep up with the labs. And if you need help, contact me, because I will always help a student who needs help. And with that, I'll be done for today. Later today or early tomorrow, I'll post this on my YouTube channel. I'll send out the link, but it'll be public. And if you want to go back and watch it again, you can. With that, I'll say, gehen gesund. And one other thing, for those of you who've ever seen the Beverly Hillbillies, a famous TV show, popular one from the 1960s, one of the characters at the end, Granny, would always go, bye. And I'll steal this from Granny. I'll say, gehen gesund. Bye now. And I'll stick around if anybody has any last minute questions. Bye.